Dr. Gia, and this is Stories of Hope. I want you to join us this session as we talk to Zemi on her story of hope through motherlessness. Don't forget to subscribe. Click below, subscribe. See you soon. We welcome you back to part 2 with Zemi as she shares her story of hope through motherlessness.
Hope for me is not just something you hold on to for yourself personally. Hope for me is what I hope to do for others. So whether it's through my work, my poetry, my spoken word, my videos, my posts on any social media forum, anything that I do that helps someone get through a period of grief. Like if you lose somebody, and especially these days it's hard if I was close to the person that you lost, but I try to be one of the first people in your inbox, giving you words of encouragement, letting you know what I went through and things that I've learned along the way that you should do. Like number one, cherish the memories. If you have videos, keep them, find them, pictures, talk to family members, anything like that. So I think that is number one for me, just who I impact, who goes in my DM saying, oh, you inspire me, who comes and asks me for my number because they need someone to walk them through something, who is going through this season of grief and they don't know where to start and where to end, and I can help them, even if it's just a small word like, hey, just keep going. I'm so thankful that you decided to just keep going, because sometimes you see Bobby Christina, who could not get over her grief.
Right.
She just could not get out of it, and eventually it destroyed her. So when I see people who I know fought that same fight, they were in that moment where I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to cry. I don't know how I'm going to get through this loss. And when I see them make it, and when I see that turning point that they make, I go to them and I said, thank you. I say, thank you. Thank you for deciding to live, not just for yourself, but for all the people who love you. I kept reading the page or going back to previous pages to reread those pages and sometimes add more details to those pages. For others, they can turn the page and sometimes even close the book. And they may revisit certain areas, but they have moved on from that page, essentially. But I was stuck on a particular page and going backwards and not forwards. Deanna, dark night, death is hiding. Disguise, demise, deceit. Knocks at the door, asthma's here. Constricting, clogging, stopping, killing. She can't breathe. Her friends try. Wrong medicine, wrong doctor, wrong night, wrong age, wrong person, wrong mother, wrong.
What you just heard was her reading from her book, which is called I Gave It to the Pages. And it is a collection of poems that chronicle many years, some of which she's already talked about and she described it. And so what I want you to do now for us, Zemi, is to tell us about that poem and how, now that we're moving into the hope part of it, how hope brought you through that, because that definitely is a not so happy poem.
Well, that poem is actually about 5 pages long. I wrote it when I was 18, which would mean 6 years since I lost my mom. And I was actually sitting at work. I was a cashier at a food store, and we had a quiet day, and I just started writing. And just putting a lot of these things together about walking through what I was going through. And at the end of it, I say that I want nothing, I want no thing, only her, only Deanna.
What are the other avenues that you are providing hope to others? And actually, because I guess you can say this has been part of your journey to healing.
Oh, definitely. And I really recommend, if you are going through anything stressful, painful, to write about it. You can probably attest that studies have proven that writing down the account of what you went through helps in your healing process. And there's clear differences between people who do that and people who don't. So even before I lost my mom, I would go to writing, but more so than ever before, I turned to writing to really get a lot of these things I was going through. I was going through heartbreaks, and they had their mothers to run to when they felt I broke their heart, but I had no one to go to. Their mothers would tell me I was wrong, and I'm like, who's fighting for me? And I would have no one. And so in terms of hope, it was obviously not just writing through so many years, but also getting to the point of actually publishing this book. Because it was done since 2011. I had the name, I had all of the content. I added pieces since then. And I was afraid. I was afraid that no one would want to read my work, that no one would think it was good, that it would never be good enough. And I was paralyzed by this fear for so long that I didn't reach out. And so overcoming that fear is a part of hope. And outside of the book, there's what I do on social media. I think a lot of us take for granted social media. Obviously, you don't because you're launching something like this. But there are so many people that an Instagram post can reach.
Yes.
Who people I don't even know. There are so many people that a Facebook post can reach. That's why I add so many people who, send a friend request, because I don't know what you're gonna need from me that I can give to you. I try always to be accessible. I hardly ever say no when people need something of me. And then also there's what I want to do with my story. And it's one thing to talk about it and stuff like that and reach out to people on an individual level, but I do want to fully establish what I do and what my life has become into ministry.
Okay.
And that looks like a lot of different things. It looks like as simple as teaching a young woman who may have lost her mommy young how to fold a fitted sheet.
Okay.
How to hem a skirt.
Wow.
How to hem a button. Things that some people take for granted that they know how to do, but it's a lot of things that I didn't know how to do. I didn't know that when you buy, when you buy sheets, that you should wash them first. Maybe I would just put it on the bed. These things, they sound simple, they sound trivial. It's like, oh, Zemi G, why didn't you know that? But I didn't know. I didn't know the proper way to iron a blouse because I lost my mom in that age when you should learn these things. And also, I was a klutz, so I wasn't allowed in the kitchen for a long time, So there were a lot of things that I missed that I want people to learn. And
how did you learn them?
How did I learn them? I learned them through observation. I had my mom's friends who are amazing, who have been in my life all through that journey. I have friends' mothers, boyfriends' mothers who would take a liking to me and would welcome me. And I learned pretty much through observation, through what I saw them do, and sometimes you learn what not to do.
Yeah.
And then also YouTube has played a big role now. I Google and so many things that I need to know. And you just always keep your eyes open. If you realize, hey, I don't know this, don't sit there and not know it for the rest of your life. Find ways to learn how to do that. If you, for example, for a long time, I didn't know how to comfort someone because in the time when I needed to be comforted, no one was there. No one knew how to comfort me the way I needed to be comforted. So when I see people going through hurt, sometimes I don't know what to do. But I had to find ways by learning what other people did that was effective for me and learn how to comfort people. So
if you need to find Zemi, if you have connected with her story in some way and you say, I just need to just learn more or hear more because I just so relate to this, just know that you can find her. Like she said, she's nicer than most of us. She friends you on Facebook without you knowing her. She has the book with the poems that's so awesome that can be found on Amazon. It's a Kindle locally here at Logos and the National Art Gallery. Yep. And so just look her up, Zemi Holland. Awesome woman, as you heard. So thank you so much for being with us for these past 2 episodes. We are excited again that you have taken time to share. Again, it's not so much about the story, but it's about what you are doing with it. And I think Zemi is a perfect example of being the Eleuthera girl, an ordinary person who's now, her story is epic.